What's up, Panangas? This is the F Class 97. It's been a while since I did a How to Ikemen. I got a bunch in store. I've just been busy with stuff. Been doing my own thing, experimenting and, college and stuff. But yeah, I have a bunch of these. In the description, if you want to skip to a specific part of the video, there are timestamps in case you want to do that. And a playlist where you can watch previous tutorials and such. So yes, this is a How to Ikemen for small tech number 2. We're gonna cover background music and how to kind of put them in properly. Text positioning for the menu, for the main menu specifically, and the cursor for the text positioning on the main menu. This was actually requested by I forgot his full name, but I think it's Ace something from Mugen Fighters Guild. So hopefully, we're answering some of his questions because he had other questions that he wants, but those are for future videos. As in like how to code in the intros and such, and adding modes, and that's all being experimented right now. But I do tend to do that, and I also do it for my projects like Revival 2. But anyways, and also adding online tag. That's what we're going to be covering today. Just a few little neat tricks, but everyone should know about. So again, sorry it's been a while since I've done one of these. Just been busy, but here we go. All right, so we have Ikemen. You have your good old generic, boring looking Ikemen. Like let's just open it up. Nothing special. It's just vanilla. If you want screen packs, I made tutorials for that and a bunch of other things. This is just for very specific things because some people ask for this. So let's start with the music. So we're going to go to script. We're going to go to main.lua, like the best. This is like where a lot of the magic happens. Open it with Notepad. And reach out and just get some songs. You can use MP3 files. You can use OGG files, stuff like that. And we're gonna teach you how to add in like main menu music. So a lot of I already basically chose my own songs. You can use whatever you want really, as long as it's like an MP3 or an OGG file. Okay, so a lot of people start like this. You have not scrolling down too far, just a little bit below, and you find this BGM. In case you didn't know, BGM is shortened for background music. This command here does play BGM, which basically means play this. And you have this parentheses here, which tells you which BGM. You see this? This BGM has nothing. There's nothing like to it. So we're gonna put something on there, and you could put your files anywhere really. Like the directory doesn't matter as long as it's around in here inside the Ikemen folder or whatever Ikemen you're using. I like to put them in sound because that's kind of what you want to do. If you want, you can organize it better. You can make some folders or whatever. You can put it in script. You can put it wherever you want as long as it's inside Ikemen. I like to just put it in sound. So if you want, let's just pick, I don't know, one of these. Let's pick the Bloody Roar, Midnight Rooftop, whatever. In here, where it says BGM, you want to write sound, or wherever your directory is, / is basically where your directory is. We're going to copy and paste the name there, and we're going to type in .mp3. And this is like the most basic thing. We're not going to be using this, but if you just wanted to like know what this means, that's how you do it. So let's open up Ikemen and listen. Look, you got a theme. Now we're not going to be using this. This is the method, and I'm just explaining to you basically what this stuff means. But we're going to be doing this differently. So we're going to be organizing it. So for example, let's open up Ikemen again and let's show you exactly what I mean. In Mugen, or in a lot of fighting games, let me lower the volume down here so you can hear me better. I don't know if it's loud. But basically, in any video game really, or Mugen, whatever, you have these modes, right? You have the main menu, which has its own song. You go to the character select, you get your own song. And we're basically going to teach you how to do that, to add your own songs for different menus and modes. You can do multiple songs for each mode. For example, in Mugen, you tend to just have a theme, like you tend to have like 2 themes separated between a main menu and a character select. But with Ikemen, you can put it for anything. For example, you know how watch mode and player 1 versus computer and local, they all go to the character select, but you can code it so that each mode has its own theme playing instead of just one character select theme. And we're going to teach you how to do that. If you guys want, you can just use one theme for all the character select modes. But I'm going to teach you both methods, so in case you want to like be fancy and separate your songs for each mode. But and we're also going to make it so that it's only 3 themes, because I like that. I like having just 3 themes. You have a menu, main menu, you have a character select, and a theme for online when you're waiting for an opponent to connect. But I'm also going to teach you how to do it if you want to do like multiple songs. Like the CVSU does that, but let's not change the subject. No. Okay. So I just explained basically what this means. We're going to delete this. We're not going to actually use it right now. So I like to categorize my things. I like to keep it organized. So let's make a menu BGM equals. Basically, we're just gonna make our own. You're gonna add one of these here. Forget the name. Sorry. .mp3 and boom. I like to categorize them because again, it's better organizing, and this is probably the best way to code it in menus background music and stuff. We got one for the menu. Let's call one for the select. Oh, and we also gotta do one for verses. Shit, I didn't even think about that. Okay, select parentheses. Let's try to get a different song here. Oh, I almost forgot to add the directory. What a great start. Sound / let's use a different. Let's use Guy's theme from Street Fighter 4. All right, let's do one for online. You can call it you can call these things anything you want. But I like to do it this way, and it just looks better and it's more organized. For the online thing, I don't know. This one sounds pretty chill. I like this. So let's use a chill song. You use anything you want, really. And for the sake of just this tutorial, let's just add a versus BGM. See how that works. Sound. Let's use this. I only have 4 songs on here right now, so let's reuse one. Again, this is just for the sake of tutorial. Let's copy in this. Again, you can call it anything you want. Let's just call this select 2 in case you want to do something fancy. So we'll explain this in a minute in case you didn't know. Let's reuse a theme. Let's just reuse the clock tower theme for this. Again, this is for sake of tutorial. So once you've done that, what you want to do, if you're doing it this way, for example, you saw BGM by itself earlier. If you're doing it this way and you're not going to use just the BGM by itself equals whatever, I suggest you scroll down a little bit, and there's going to be, or you could just use Control F to find the specific thing. And where it says here, it should be under where it says cell mode, which is select mode, like the character select. Where it says play BGM here, you want to take that out and save it. That's if you're taking out BGM equals. If you're going to do it this way. If you're going to keep BGM equals, then you keep that there. The reason why we took out that code is because it'll crash after you exit a game. So right now we just categorized our songs, but you might notice that there's going to be no music playing whatsoever. And the thing is that's because we didn't add it. We just added the songs to at least be in there. We didn't put in the songs where they need to be. We just added them so that they can be recognized. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna do it for the menu background. So let's go scroll down around here where it says oh shit, not here. Mode select, function mode select, which is, well, mode select, no shit, right? Here you want to add your BGM. So what we're gonna do is, also you gotta be careful. You have to add it sometimes. For these you have to add them in specific areas. For example, let's type in play BGM parentheses, and for the parentheses you want to, inside the parentheses is the song you want to use. For example, if we're doing the menu, let's go to menu BGM. This basically does, the command here is that it'll play this specific song, and there you go. But let's see what happens. You have to be careful where you put these, because if you don't put them in specific areas, they will kind of be, a few things will happen. You might notice that no music is playing. But however, for some reason when I enter the character select, it does. But it's not playing it here. Also, it's laggy. You have to be careful where you can't just put these anywhere. So let's tell you, a really good spot where to put these. One good spot, if you want, is kind of around here, I believe. If you want, you can put it anywhere here. Just kind of put it there. Let's just slap it on there. See what happens. Okay, it's still laggy. Okay, my bad. Okay, what? If it's just the main menu, you can just do it like it was earlier. I was just testing something real quick. So if you want, you can just put it right here, like right where everything is, and it'll play the song. So let's go to play BGM, menu BGM, and it'll play like normal. But now we run into the issue that, hey, this is the only song in the entire thing. So that's fine. So what we're going to do is let's copy that, because you don't want to be typing all day. And we're going to do one for the character select. Now this is interesting. Each game mode right here represents a thing. For example, game mode 0 equals 0 is watch mode. And game mode 1 equals, player 1 versus computer, etc., etc. You can rearrange this any way you like if you know how to code in modes, which we're going to do in a future tutorial. But yeah, let's do that. So for example, for game mode 0, if it's watch mode, you're gonna press enter, you're gonna add this here. And we're not gonna use the menu music, because why would we do that? We want a different song. So if you want, let's go to select BGM, this, or whatever you want to name, whatever you named it to. So watch what happens. We're gonna copy and paste that. We're gonna save it. Always remember to save. Always save your progress. Okay, so the menu is playing this, but when you go here, it plays a different tune. Uh-oh, but when we exit, it still plays the same tune. So when that happens, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this code again. And right at the very bottom where it says, if not canceled, then main, right here, you're going to make another space, and you're going to paste this here, and you're going to put this as your menu music. Watch what happens. If you don't do that, then the character select theme is going to play when you're on the main menu, and that's not organized at all. Okay, so here we go. We're in the main menu. You can hear that song. We're now the character select for the watch mode, and the character select theme is playing. Now if you exit, there we go, we're back to the main menu. If you don't add this code, you're gonna have the character select theme play, and you know that's not good. And I know a few games that have had this issue and bug, and it's kind of like it's not like you know, you look at it and it's like it's not that bad, but it's honestly very annoying, at least for me. But it's whatever. Okay, so now you know the basic thing. Now if you want to put it for all modes, there are two ways I like to do this. Some people like to put in multiple songs in multiple different modes, and then there's some where it's like, as long as you know, you can just reuse the same song, or you can just put a different one. So let's say you want the same song for the character select. You like Guy's theme, you're gonna put it in every character select. So for game mode 1, which is player 1 versus computer. Again, this is for vanilla Ikemen. This isn't for any specific like Ikemen projects. This is for vanilla. If you're doing this yourself, you're planning on making a game, screen pack, or whatever you're planning on doing. Game mode 2 is going to be the whole player 2 versus player 1 local versus. So we'll do there. Game mode 3 is the online game mode. So for here, what I like to do is right at the bottom here, where it says text image draw connecting, instead of using the select BGM, let's use the BGM we used for the online theme. We called it net BGM. Again, you could call it anything you want. It's gonna be that clock tower theme. So where I put it, which is game mode 3, let's change that so it's different. Oops, I accidentally copied it. It's fine. I remember what it's called. It's called net BGM. Okay, so then you open up Ikemen, and when you do that, let's show you what happens exactly. Again, this is the main menu music. Character select theme for watch mode. We're back to normal. And again, we're using it a little bit. Now let's go to net play. Nothing's happening. Oh, now it's up. Okay, I fucking put it in the wrong section like an idiot. Oops. Might be. Okay, you want to put it here. Yeah, I believe so. You want to put it here instead. I placed it in the wrong section. See, that's what happens. We all make mistakes. But yeah, you want to put it there instead, where it says text image set text connecting, now connecting, blah blah blah. You want to put it there. Watch. Now it works. And when you exit, it does play the same theme. That does happen sometimes. When that happens, where it says if escape then cancel equals true, you could try adding the menu theme here so it'll play. Because as you saw earlier, it played the online theme even after you exit, but when we escape, it goes back to normal. So that's how you do that for the online theme specifically. Where it says cancel, you add the main menu music. Okay, so we did that. We did this. Now let's show you exactly what for the other ones we didn't do. For example, we didn't do it for the other modes. Let's take a listen exactly. Like, okay, listen to this. Character select and stuff like that. But if we go to something like this, it's it doesn't do that. So what we're gonna do is you can either reuse the same select theme, or if you want to be fancy and add different themes for everything, you could just do what we did just now with the copy and pasting, except renaming them each. So for this, again, for the sake of tutorial, let's go to like game mode 6, which should be player 2 versus computer. And we're going to copy and paste the code here. But instead of doing select, let's try select 2. Now, just to let you know, we did reuse the clock tower theme here. So you might hear the online select, but that's because we just used that song. because I only added 4 songs. I didn't add more than 4. But watch. Guy's theme. But if we go to computer versus 1, I use the online theme instead. That's if you wanted to add more. You can add multiple BGMs. You can just use select 2, or you can have BGMs to each name, like for example, watch mode BGM or whatever, but that's just if you want to. But for me, this is just me, I like to have my character selects theme for each game the same, and just change the themes where it's like a different mode entirely. So we're going to do it to the rest, which is game mode 5, which is the replay mode. You don't really have... I recommend doing nothing for game mode 4 since it's just changing ports, and it's just like, you don't really need to add anything to it. But if you want, you can do that, but let's not bother with it because there's no point. Game mode 6, game mode 7, which is the... whatchamacallit, what's the fuck called? Auto test. You put that there if you want, right here. So now let's listen to the themes. And that's basically how you do it. That's pretty much it. Now every like character select has like the guy theme. If you play online or if you're waiting, you're listening to a whole different theme. If you exit, it goes back. Let's go to auto random test for the fuck of it. It really doesn't do anything, so you don't have to add any music to it. So let's not do that. Now let's do one quick test before anything. If we're gonna go to watch mode, let's just, I don't know, watch a match. Now you might notice that there's no music playing after you exit. Now remember what I said earlier when you had to, let's copy this, because we'll show you right now. When I said earlier that you had to take out a code if you're gonna not do that, well, let's go back. I believe it was here where it says game. You're gonna paste it here, the select BGM, and you're gonna save it, and then watch what happens. Watch mode, you can hear the guy theme, the match loads, you watch the fight, and then you exit, and we're back to the character select theme. And that's how you do it pretty much. One last thing I forgot to do is the versus theme. Now the versus theme was kind of tricky for me because I was like, fuck, how am I gonna do this without adding lag? Because sometimes I tried doing it and it was like just experimenting with it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the Warzone thing because this is still relatively new to my brain. Where it's in the around, let's just remember where we called it, versus BGM. Right, okay, it's versus BGM. So we're gonna look up versus BGM, and I'll tell you exactly the best place to put it. Right here, haha, swag. Okay, right around here. Hold on, I fucked up. Sorry, it's still new to me. Like I found out how to do it, and it was like, holy cow! But it's like I don't remember exactly where I put it. Okay. Around here where it says, I kind of coded all this shit in cell mode. Right here where it says cell mode, below this portrait stuff, right where it says refresh and end, you can paste it right here. The versus thing. Now, just to let you guys know, it does loop. So let's explain. Let's show it to you real quick. Okay, so we have the versus BGM here in the character select. So let's exit this. And that's where you put it for the versus. If you just want versus mode music, you don't have to really, because it's just kind of a waiting thing. So, oh, it's so quick too. So let's give you an extra thing, an extra tech. For your waiting things to last longer. For example, if we play Warzone Ikemen right now. And you saw how quick that loading screen was. Now, well, that's because it didn't have much content in it. It was only like Kung Fu Man, and that was it. For a game like Warzone, it does take a little bit longer because there's more. This is just a thing. So let's just I'm just showing you as an example. If we're gonna go to like watch mode, see how the verses last longer, and it uses the verses like theme, and it goes right in. If you want to do that, you don't have to necessarily, this is just extra stuff, but if you want to do that, again, it's like everything is fresh in the brain. Don't worry, I coded all this. I'm not copying and pasting. What do you fucking get? No, okay. Let's go to versus BGM, since this is where I put it. Okay. Around here, where you put the same area, you put your versus BGM. How long have we been recording? Oh, shit. Okay, 19 minutes. Sorry for taking too long. the same area here in which you put your versus BGM or whatever you want to call it. You want to change one of the numbers here to, instead of 20, this is changing the number here somehow basically kept the loading thing longer, like lasting longer. So for example, with the Warzone thing, you have to hear the whatever. Change this amount to something whatever, depending on how long you want your thing to last for your characters. Like, this is more for screen packs, but if you want to hear that theme, let's just change it to something weird like 400. Let's just change it to like, it's gonna take a while, and you're definitely gonna hear some of the song. But that's all like trial and error if you're like working on screen packs. So this isn't necessary, but I added it in for you guys in case you guys are wondering. So watch this. Listen, actually. Now you can hear it, and the loading takes longer. And after that specific amount, I believe that's frame related. I never really clocked it, but I believe it's frames. So it'd be 400 frames, which is roughly, if it's 60 frames a second, roughly around, maybe, I'm just like mental math, it'd be less than 6 seconds. It'd be like 6 and extra seconds. It doesn't touch 7, but that's basically how long you'd make that last. I believe so. But yeah, that's it. I know it was lengthy, I apologize, but I just want to make sure I give it nice and detailed so you guys know what you're talking about. Again, if you want to skip to specific parts, you go to the thing. So we talk about BGMs. Holy shit, that took a while. These tutorials are usually in, but whatever. I hope you guys like that. So that's BGMs. Let's move on to something quick. Let's go to text positioning. Text positioning is, we're doing this for the main menu specifically. So if you wanted to move it, so for example, let's open up this game. Let's turn off the sound so it doesn't get too much. So you already know how to add the music. Okay, you have it in the middle. Now, if you want to do this is for, like, again, screen pack stuff. But if you want to do this, if you want to, let's say, move the text, I don't know, you want to be fancy with it, you want to move it this way. Like, if you want the watch mode to be closer to the thing, you can do that. To do that, right here where it has all the text in it, watch mode, oh, by the way, this is how you change the mode. So, for example, you want to change watch mode to, like, I don't know, cat fight. Horribly. That's how you do it in between these little things. This is how you change the name of the modes. So instead of watch mode, you're watching catfight. But let's put it back to watch mode. But that's how you rename modes. That's an extra thing. If you want to position them, again, just remember these are the X and Y axis. I've discussed these in past tutorials with like positioning things like sprites and shit for the screen pack. If you want to position, let's say, watch mode. Right now it's at 100 in the 100x axis, and it's in the 80y axis. We want to move it closer to here. You can move it anywhere you want as long as, as long as whatever your heart desires. Let's say you want to move it closer to the wall. Okay, so we're going to push this from, instead of 100, let's make it bigger to, like, I don't know, like 180. Let's just trial and error. 180. So it's going to be closer this way. See, there it is. It's going to be closer like that. Let's move it much closer to the wall. Let's call it 200. Let's see what it looks like. So we're going to do that. And right now, I think that's okay. We can just leave it like that. Just play around with the numbers and see if you want to get in closer. Okay, so now it's at 200. Now, a lot of these are, as you can see right now, like, they're all 100. So let's just change them all to 200 and see what happens. They might not be equally put, but we'll fix whatever's needs to be fixed. Okay, they're all now 200. X-axis. They've been pushed forward. Now, it's going to look a little weird. As you can tell, some of it's cut off. Port change, for example. For port change, since it's a lot longer, let's bring it up a bit. Let's go to, like that. But that's basically how you do it. You can put them all there. If you want, we can put them all, like, anywhere really. Just that's how you do it. If you want to make them like to this side more, change watch mode to something like let's put a really small number, 50. It was the default's at 100, but just for the sake of tutorial, what if we want to change to 50? See, now it's like that. Now here's one of the main issues that you might come across if you're doing this. That's basically how you rearrange them. If you want to rearrange them y-axis, let's see what we want, because we're not doing a specific screen pack or anything. But let's see what we want. Let's bring them a little higher. Let's say you want the text higher, or for whatever reason. Let's see, what does 40 look? How high is 40? That's pretty high. If you want, you can do it like that. But yeah, you change them up to whatever. But let's just keep it around 80. But that's basically how you do it. You just change the numbers around, smaller or bigger, depending on where you want the X or Y axis to be. Now, you might notice the cursor doesn't really... It's in the same spot, since we didn't change anything. All we changed was the X axis. But we didn't change the cursor, and it's like all the way here, when it should be like closer to here. To change that, that's pretty easy. You look below... Actually, no, you don't... Fuck, sorry. Yeah, it is below. Okay, so... Around here... Right here... P1 cursor, P1 TM cursor, P1 team cursor, that's what it means for short. This little part here is the cursor you use for this. This is also connected to this. Right here, this code means if the command presses up, it's -1 game mode. If the command presses down, it's +1 game mode. Since game mode 0, +1, game mode 1, +1, game mode 2, etc., etc. But this is what it's controlling. Now, what if you wanted so that it fits with this? Since we didn't change anything, all we changed was that the default was 195. So if it's 195 here, and since we placed them to 200, let's just call them 195. And that's pretty much it. Again, guys, this is very simple. If you want a very specific way, that's it. That's all you have to do. Now it matches perfectly. If you want a very specific way of putting in your text, you have to play around with it yourself. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. But if you want to put it very specific area or whatever, that's up to you. That's how you're putting, if you're putting your screen pack a specific way. But that's basic. This is like the basic thing on how to do it. The rest is up to you. You can fix it on the y-axis. Also, this is important to note. Every time it presses down, let's play around with the y-axis. Let's try to have some fun. Let's play around with the y-axis. If you want the text to be more spacious, let's say we want to cover more space. So instead of let's have them cover more space from each other, so they're not too close. Let's put this at 60. Let's put this at like 90. Let's keep it organized. If you want, you can have it any way you want, depending on. Again, this is all up to you. I'm just showing you the bare basics here. So 60, 90, 120, 150. We're doing it by 30s. Like each one below is like plus 30 in between. It's like it leaves 30 spaces between 30 between each other. So it's like 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240. 270, stuff like that. And we're going to show you right now. It's going to be a lot more space. This is just for the sake of the tutorial, guys. The rest is up to you. Oh, we didn't fix one of them. Oops. Wait, did we? No, we did not. Oh, I fucked up. I'm an idiot. I placed com versus. I did it on the wrong axis. My B. This is going to be 240. This is going to be 200 still. And that's, instead of that being 220, that's going to be 270. It might be a little bit too spaced, but again, this is all up to you. You figure out where you want to put your things. But as you can see, they're not lined up properly. Also, that was a little cut off, the one at the bottom. So let's bring this up higher. Let's call this, I don't know, 10. Let's see how high it is on 10. You got to play around with it if you want a very specific thing. Okay, 10 is pretty damn high. So let's just put it at 20, and we'll do it the same way here. So 20. 50, 80, 110, 140. We're still doing the 30 y-axis in between, but we're doing it differently. 170, 200, 230. We put a little bit more space in between. This is all up to you. You play around with whatever you want to do. Now they're like more spaced up, but the cursor doesn't follow them all the way. To fix this, we got to fix the y-axis part. We fixed the x-axis part so it fits. Now we got to do the y-axis. So the y-axis is at 77 plus 20 game mode. Now, remember when I told you that they're 20 spaces apart? Well, here, since we added, instead of now it's 30 spaces apart, we're going to change this to a 3 instead of a 2, so it's 30, so that they follow each other better. And you can kind of see that it takes more space. And it actually fits well. Now, we're going to teach you. We got one last thing to do, and it is to fix this, because this is the default space. And unless you're playing in game mode 2, that's not going to happen. We got to put it up here now. And to fix that, it is easy. It was default 80, right? I believe the first one was 80, and this is 77, so it's -3. So we change it from 80 to 20. Okay, so instead of 20, let's just call it 17. Again, guys, this all depends. It also depends on your sprite, and you got to line it up yourself. I'm just telling you the bare basics, and it's for you to do it, because that's how a lot, it's all trial and error. That's how we found a lot of things, and that's the best way to learn, in my opinion. But here you go. You have the, now it's properly placed better. It looks a little different, and it still works the same. Here you go. And we already covered 2 burns with 1 stone. Now we're off to the last part, which is probably the easiest part of this whole tutorial, is online tag. And this video is stretching 30 minutes. So to close it up, let's teach you how to add online tag. This was by accident. I managed to find this out by accident. I've been working on this for like a whole year and a half, how to figure out how to do online tag, and probably the best successful way. I'm not trying to gloat myself, but hey, I gotta be proud of something. It's just a joke. Sorry. For the online tag, I managed to add it in there, so it works with virtually any tag system. You don't need to specifically code like the character. There's some characters that are coded so that you don't have to do this stuff. But if you're working with, let's say, you want to use Uno tag, you want to use add004 on Ikemen, you want to use the Marvel 2 characters, the project with the tag system. Any tag system will work with this, period. And this is how you do it. There's a little trick with game mode 5. Or game mode 6 rather, and it's the computer versus player 1. Now you'd think to yourself, what the hell is the point of this? It's just that you switch sides. Well, it has a neat little thing here called remap input, and what this means is that it remats your input for the player. For example, player 1 would be player 2 controls, and player 2 will use player 1 controls. This is very important. You want to copy this, and where it says game mode 3, right here where it says P2N equals 2, this basically means that when player 2 in, that means it'll use player 2 controls. It'll basically be like local versus, like for example, I don't really need to tell you this, but I like to educate you guys for no fucking reason. Nah. Like, okay, if it's like this, then it means P1 in equals 1. And then you have like this where it has like both the character selects for this. It shows you both team modes for player 1 and player 2. That's what it means. What you want to do for this is that you want to paste the code here. Now, if you're doing regular 2 versus 2, this is what you do. Instead of where it says player 1's inputs would be player 2, you change this to player 3. And what this means is player 3's controls, let's change it to 1. So for example, until we find the day where you can have more than one person join a host, because this is PvP, so it's all 1v1. You want to change player 3's controls to player 1. You want to change player 4's controls to player 2. And you're going to save that. And just to make sure for Warzone that we have a similar way, because for the Warzone screen pack, by the way, you can download this in the description, and you can check out all the Ikemen stuff in the description below. For tag, it's basically the same thing where I remap the inputs. Player 3 uses player 1's controls, and player 4 uses player 2's controls. This also means that no debug code. In Mugen, you'd have to press Control 3 and Control 4 to disable the AI so you can get controlled. But this also works offline too. This basically means you don't have to use debug online. Besides, you can't really debug online at all because it's disabled, because what fun is it to play online and have the guy F1 you all the time? That's stupid. And one more step where it says set com player 1 0. This basically means that no computer's controlling it, only the human. You're going to copy these two, and you're going to paste it right here and replace this for player 3 and player 4. And this is it. This is it. This is the tag code. If you are somehow wanting to add more tag, for example, if you're using add004 or the Mimikuso tag system for Ikemen only, you can, if you wanted to code in 3v3s, you can just change this to, this is just excessive, but if you're willing to do that, you can change it for player 5 and player 6 to share these controls, something Shinrei didn't do. And you do it here where it says set com player 4, change this to 5 and 6, and there you go. That's 3v3, 4v4, whatever the hell you want to do. It's kind of excessive, and it kind of lags Ikemen if your computer is not like the best. Mine isn't, so just 2v2 tag is perfect for me. Oh, and important, game mode 3, remember this is online. You want to copy this code, and you want to paste it onto where your replays are, right here where it says, enter replay and stuff. If you don't do this, then all your replays with tag will be garbage. They will not work. They will always desync. So if you don't do that, then you're screwed. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, recommendations, whatever, leave it in the comments below. I want to do more of these, but I want to make sure you guys are actually watching and learning this. So, please thumbs up and subscribe and share this out with people. It really helps if you guys want, because I.K.E.M.E.N has so much more tech here. It's so open source. It's so fucking good, this engine. Even for some of the issues, remember, it's open source. You can fix them either by coding in the characters or whatever, or the engine. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys want to see more of this, please like this video and subscribe for more. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Peace out and subscribe, niggas.